declare the quorum.
Thank you, Jessica. Scott's not here tonight. His wife, Renee, had to go into emergency surgery for some kidney stones, and I understand she's in surgery right now, so I'm sure they need our prayers this evening. Item 3 is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting on February the 14th, 2012. Do we have a motion to approve those?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. This time I'd like to call on the Chief of Police, Maurice Schultz, who would like to recognize the City Employee of the Month. Yes.
This month's Employee of the Month works in my department, comes out of my budget, but works for everybody in the city, all over the city, and that's Rocky District. Rocky, if you wish to know. Rocky, I often refer to Rocky as the one with the patience of Joe. He'll show you how to do something 100 times and come back and smile at you and show you how to do it again. So Rocky, on behalf of the city of Newport, I want to congratulate you and tell you that you've been named the Employee of the Month.
What do you got to say, Rocky?
He lets the computer do his time.
Yeah. It's not ready.
What's your title? That's a good question. He's the IT specialist for the city of Newport. I was thinking about president of technology.
That's good enough.
We call him the guru if that helps. Yes.
Take one more. 1, 2. Thanks.
Thank you. Congratulations, Rocky. Under item 5, that would have been a report from Scott Collins, and he had indicated his report would have come from the weekly report that y'all received on email. Item 6 is appointment of a person to the Newport Utilities Board to fill the expired term of Brad Davidson. 3 individuals has indicated their willingness to want to serve on this board, and at this time we'll let each of them have just a few minutes if they'd like to talk concerning this. We'll start with Dennis Thornton, if you'd like to speak.
Thank you, Mayor, Alderman. I appreciate the courtesy to allow my name to be submitted for consideration. I have served on that board in the past as a member of council. I'm familiar with the way the board works. I have no ties to any of the employees, no relatives. I'm not a former employee, nor do I have a spouse who is a former employee. So my position is fairly neutral. I do live in the city limits of Newport, and I would appreciate the consideration for the position. Questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Next, Don Large. Is Don present? Okay. Bill Costner.
Well, I believe everybody here knows me. My name's Bill Costner. I'm the city alderman. I appreciate y'all giving me this opportunity to be on the board of Newport Utilities if I get elected. I've been a lifelong member of Newport. Went to school at Newport Grammar, Cott County High School, ETSU, Tennessee Tech. And I also have a course from ICS, Correspondence School of Electricity, and the TV PPA schools and relaying, substation. And I retired from Newport Utilities for about almost 40 years of service. And I think I could be a great access to the board because I know how everything operates. and I would appreciate if they give me a chance to serve on this board. And that's all I have to say. If anybody got any questions? Thank you.
Roll call.
Okay. Any questions or discussion from council? Okay, we'll do a roll call, and as your name's called, you just indicate which person you would like to see fill this expired term of Brad Davidson.
Alderman Bud?
Bill Coffman.
Alderman Costner?
Bill Costner.
Alderman Gregg? Alderwoman Holt? Bill Costner. Alderman Morgan?
Costner. Okay, 4 votes, so there's no need. Congratulations, Bill.
Thank you.
Okay, item 7 is the appointment of Quentin Parrott to the as beer board chairman. Is that correct, Bill?
Yes, and I'm going to ask for something else too.
Okay, just step up to the mic there.
I've now joined the ranks of the people asking for money. As a representative for the beer board, I'm asking that each member of the beer board be increased $10 per meeting in salary. And I'll say this, because I don't believe that any department in this city has gone 19 years without a change in salaries. That's how long the beer board has received $30 since 1993. And I think it's about time that we get a raise, and I hope you can see it clear to do that. Because we raise more money for less expense than any department in the city. Does anybody have any questions or anything? I didn't think I'd ever join the club asking for money, but I have become a member now.
Mr. Parrott, could you confirm the amount that you asked for? I'm sorry, just for the minutes. Could you confirm the amount that you asked for?
$10 per person.
Thank you.
That makes $40 per person per meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, first thing we need to do is we need a motion to appoint him to the beer board.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
He's the chairman.
What?
He's the chairman. Already.
Okay.
He's already.
Is it?
Are we not appointing you?
No.
No, he's down here. Okay, scratch that. That's okay. That's no big deal. Okay, so we don't have to, it was down as an appointment. That's no big deal. Okay, now we can vote on the money.
Suspend them.
Yeah, we need to, motion to suspend the rules
Add that to the agenda.
and add it to the agenda.
I make the motion to suspend the rules and add the pay increase to the agenda.
You want up the pay increase?
We'll do that next one.
Yeah, we're going
Okay, I'll second.
Okay, got a second to suspend the rules. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Now do we have a motion to increase the pay to $10 more per meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Can we have a discussion?
Yeah.
I would just, we go ahead and raise it to 50, make it even 50, because there's no way that gas and their time, and, I mean, that's a token amount, I know, but at least that would offset a little bit of their time and their fuel.
I'll second that.
Kathy made the original motion.
Yes.
Would you want to
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, the motion to increase it to $50 per meeting. Now do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. You got more than you bargained for. Okay, to new business, the second reading of ordinance 2012-01, City of Newport budget amendment.
Mayor, I'll read the caption of that into the minutes. It's ordinance number 2012-01, an ordinance to amend the City of Newport's budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2011, and ending June 30th, 2012.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve that on the second reading?
Mayor, I'll make.
Do we have a second?
I'll say it.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item B is consideration of first reading of ordinance 2012-02, City of Newport budget amendment.
Mayor, that is ordinance number 2012-02, an ordinance to amend the City of Newport's budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2011, and ending June 30th, 2012.
Do we have a motion on that reading?
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll say it.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item C is Resolution 2012-01, Safe Routes to School, Phase 2. You're familiar with that from reading about that in your handbook. Do we have a motion to approve that?
Do we need to read that there? No, we do not. That's just a resolution. I'll make that.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item D is Resolution 2012-02, Sewer for Annexation Area 1. Do we have a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll say it.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item E is Resolution 2012-03, City County Ambulance Service. Terry, if you would go over that resolution for us.
Mayor, that is a resolution that will allow the city to enter into an interlocal agreement with the county. The agreement was drawn up by the county attorney Carter Moore and presented to me. The agreement basically says that the city has agreed to be covered by the county's ambulance contract beginning July 1, 2012. They are preparing to put the ambulance contract up to bid, and they would like to do it next week, according to Attorney Moore. And to make sure that to know what's in the contract, obviously the people bidding need to know whether the city's going to be included in the contract or not, and that's why they are interested in obtaining the agreement with the city to be covered by the county ambulance contract. So if we approve the resolution, we will agree to be covered by the county's ambulance contract when it's approved for the upcoming year. And for the next 5 years, it also provides that there will be a 5-year extension if the county agrees to extend their contract for an additional 5 years.
Any questions? And that starts July 1.
2012, yes, sir.
Do we have something like that in place now, Terry?
We have nothing in place. We're covered because we have nothing saying we're not covered. But the state law authorizes counties and municipalities to enter into agreements if they want to. There's nothing forcing us to. It's just whether it's y'all's decision to decide if that's what's best for the citizens of Newport, of course. And that's what the resolution says.
And from my standpoint, I think it shows our ability to work with the county and get on board with them. So I'll be in favor of us passing the resolution. But if y'all have any discussion, we have a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Just for a few minutes, since we're on the ambulance service subject, I attended a meeting with the CLB committee on safety, along with Von Moore and their attorney, Carter Moore, and so forth that was there. And I went on record as I spoke to this group that in speaking to each of you on an individual basis, our concern, we want to back whatever the county does. And I made those statements at that meeting. And that's what I gathered from all council members, that we were full in support of the county and whatever decision they come up with, the ambulance service. And with this passing of the resolution, it's even on paper now and more present that that's what we want to do. After I spoke, and Alderman Doug got up and spoke as well, indicating our support for the county, the representative from Allied got up and spoke and indicated that they were not going to bid on the ambulance service. And of course, this is just my opinion at this point in time, but with that being said, let me word this carefully since the press is here writing and recording. I think it wouldn't hurt the city any, it wouldn't be of a problem to the county if the city wanted to maybe sign a contract with Magnum, who has requested that we do so, with the contract only being through June, I guess midnight June the 30th, and that's at the point in time where our resolution would then go into effect. If council would like to discuss that or vote to do that, I don't think it would be any hardship for the county at this point in time, since they're not, Allied has chosen not to be. So that's on the floor for council to discuss, if you have any discussion. Or
Did the CLB send any type of opinion back?
I haven't received any opinion as far as any written documentation. It just, I think from the feeling I got at the meeting, I don't think the county was expecting Allied not to bid on it. And it kind of, it's one of those things where there needs to be a competitive bid process so that one group don't monopolize the situation. That's my opinion. But I don't think they were expecting Allied not to bid on it. So, I get it's on the floor of the council. We've been approached by Magnum on several occasions at workshops and meetings. And if you all wanted to chose to do a contract with them, it would only be through June the 30th of this year. So that's on the floor of whatever council would like to do with that.
Well, I'll make the motion that we sign a contract with Magnum, because when it's not that we don't have to bid on the ambulance service. We don't have that. Never had ambulance service till now. But the county does have to. They have to take a bid on that, no matter what. Whatever Allied said, they still have to take a bid. My motion is that we take Allied on until our resolution ends, and let Cobb County.
Until the resolution starts.
Yes.
On July the 1st.
Yes.
Okay, we've got that motion on the floor.
Take Allied on or Magnum? Okay.
And this is not an end.
No, not Allied, Magnum.
Okay. Do we have a second? Okay. Yes.
I'm the director of Allied over here in Wilson. What will that do to well, we have the city county contract right now. If we vote a one into place, how will that function as far as the calls that's running right now? Because our contract is good till June 30th. Does that make sense? 'Cause I know this is a big hoorah because we've been going through it for the past 2 or 3 months, and it wasn't our intentions not to bid, it's just the intentions that nobody wanted us to bid. That's the way it's been the whole time along. You know, I have my employees approached by officials around here telling them that you're out of here, you're gone, you're this and you're that. And that's what we come to the point of saying, you know, if you don't want us here, we won't be here. But we're here till June 30th. And we're in the city and the county. There's not been no contracts made with it yet. So if you vote on, I mean, it don't matter to me either way. I'll just be honest with you. I ain't burnt no bridges nowhere and got plenty of places to go. But I don't see how they're going to do that with a contract in place right now in the one. Now, in June 30th, if you give it to them, you give it to them. You know, that's fine. I'm not worried about it.
And we can't, you know.
Right. I know it's a city-county thing. I mean,
Right, yes.
yeah, I'm not political or anything like that, but I'm just saying, you know, because I've got to take back and figure this out, and I'm just trying to get it for myself, because when I go back after I leave here, if they're voted in, and it's nothing personal, because I love them guys to death back there, but I need to know what to tell them, you know what I mean? Because if you're voted in and they got it, where do we stop at? Because make sure they're ready. I mean, that's just all I'm saying. Because when we cut these trucks back, and we do this for these employees, then you're stuck. Because we'll do what we can do, but once you give it over to them, we're private owned, and, you know, whatever happens, happens. It's falls back in the lap whoever voted on it.
Of course, I think Butch was the guy at the meeting.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, he's on
Okay.
it.
And
Yeah, I was there, and I got it, and I got mixed signals with it too, and,
Yeah.
you know, 1 minute, you know, it's just like they was talking about our extension on our contract. Okay, if the extensions is not legal, then right now we're not under contract to stay anyway, because it's been extended twice. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the mayor and the mayor's attorney sitting there telling us that it's against the law to extend the contract when we're on our second one. So, you know, by that saying, you know, we'd be entitled to give a 90-day notice. If that's the fact, then we could sit here and say right now, well, we're gone, then here you go, it's all yours. There won't be nobody here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's no hard feelings either way it goes. I'm not here to argue, I'm just here to make sure everything's panned out before it starts. You know, if they get it, God bless them, I'm not worried about it.
of course, Butch indicated at that meeting that they were going to be here anyway.
Yeah. That's what it's talking about. It's always been leaving truck in Cobb. I mean, even if the county gave Magnum the contract, there'll be a truck left in Cobb. That's just the saying. And the only thing we've said the whole time that is, we've been put down so much, and I'd like to know, I mean, whatever it is, if anybody had any questions, call me. I'm up here all the time. You know, if we're doing something wrong, let us know. But out of 80 complaints, out of 5,000 to 6,000 calls a year run over the past 8.5 years, ain't even 1% of your rate that we've been complaining on. You know, I'm the one who comes to the point of saying that if they don't want it, let them have it.
Right.
You know, if the county don't like us, the LB board don't like us, city don't like us, they can have it. You know, everybody's getting all testy up there, they like. It don't matter anything about that. The point is covering your county. I mean, when you give it to them, make sure it's going to be covered. Because it's not to say that, you know, if it's took and we lose the manpower, that we may have to pull back to just having one truck in Cosby. If you've got one truck here running and one truck up there, your county's not going to be covered. Because a lot of times, there's been 3 trucks in this county 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then there's a truck that'll come from Morristown. I've worked over here for going on 6 years now, and there's been plenty of times that we've had 5 ALS trucks running in this county and couldn't keep it covered in. And I know we're battling with 911 and all these other people like that. I mean, it's time it stops, you know? Everybody's sitting there fussing about it. They want to give it to them, give it to them. If they don't, but I'm just saying right now till June 30th, then we're still under contract with the county for the county and the city. So I don't know how that will pan out. You know, it's whatever, just like saying, okay, here, you've got it. That's saying, okay, we're not going to have nothing else to do with it. Then if no 1 or 2 trucks don't cover it, who you gonna look for to cover the rest of the county, or the city?
Well, 911 calls, don't they?
911 call.
They will call the available ambulance.
Yeah, and that you gave them the contract in the city, then I'm sure that would be Magnum. You know what I'm saying? Because it's city, the hospital's in the city, and that's the majority of the calls. So, and that's just saying, would be like Cobb County is now. If Cobb County takes a call, they take it. They don't, no hard feelings.
So in essence, if we chose to go with Magnum, you really wouldn't care if you took a call in the city or not?
No, we would take the calls, but we'd be like Cobb County too, because that much revenue would be gone. Hospitals, gone. 90%, well, I think it's what, say 58%?
58%.
And the city would be gone. So if the hospital did call us to take one of those transfers, that truck would be tied up for 3 hours. So whatever Magnum had put in service for you all would be what you all had till we got back. Now, it's like Butch told you, he never leave the county uncovered. You know what I'm saying? But you can only function and operate so much after, these people's payroll. Our payroll's almost $48,000 every 2 weeks. That's $96,000 a month. You can't do that if you ain't running costs. They know that, we know that. And when you cut it off, you ain't no place to go but back across the field. So, I mean, I'm just giving you the heads up on it. I'm trying to say a piece about it. It's neither heads nor tails for me either which way we go with it.
And of course, if dispatch called Magnum and they weren't available, then they could call Allied or Cobb County. Not if they're not available. They can. Kathy Cody indicated that
We would be just like Cobb County EMS.
yes,
right
if
now.
they would call them if Magnum was not available, if that's what the council chooses to do.
And the way it was said right here, like, we won't take a call if something pops up. Well, I mean, what if we didn't? Because we've been technically run out. So, I mean, if we didn't take a call, that's our option.
Right.
But, as many times as he's pulled trucks from the other county over here to cover your county, I don't see him doing that. Because it's just in him. That's where his big prestige comes from, that I'm taking care of something. I've got this taken care of, I've got this 911 contract. It ain't about money, it ain't about losing money, it ain't about none of that stuff. It's about saying that I'm a 911 provider for a county. That's it. Not a lot of private owned services can say that. That's where that prestige comes from. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit around while I'm wasting time, but
You're fine.
just, powerful process. Thank you.
The city has a right to enter into its own contract if it so chooses. The only time period we have, based on our prior motion, would be from the present till July June 30th. The county has a contract with Allied, but that contract covers the city right now because the city's never entered into another contract, but the city has the right to enter into its own ambulance contract if that's what y'all want to do.
And the question might be asked from
Magnum here.
When would you be able, if the council chooses to do this, when would you be able to begin service?
I talked to him before I got down here. He said just as soon as the papers are signed, we're ready. We have 3 trucks that's ready to go, several applications, people that's ready to come to work immediately. So just whenever the papers are signed, the contract, we're ready to go to work.
Okay. Do y'all have any questions for him? Jimmy?
Matter of fact, I want to stand on behalf of the 911 board as the chair and make you all aware that if you sign this contract, when somebody calls 911, their ESN number pops up. And that ESN indicates that you would call Newport Fire, Newport Rescue Squad, Newport City, and right now, every phone number in the city limits would say Allied EMS. We have to give an opportunity for Kathy and Crystal to be able to change that ESN, if you do sign a contract, to show that dispatcher, this is the contract, this is the emergency services provider that you have to call first. Because right now it pops up Allied, and my concern would be that the 911 board and the 911 would become liable if we don't have an opportunity to sign that, get those ESNs assigned
to the proper agency.
How long do you think that would take?
I have no idea. That's something that's computerized, and that would be every number that calls 911 from inside the city limits of Newport.
Questions?
Some of the things that's been started right now as far as 911, working on it, I don't know anything about the ESN numbers, but as far as the tones, different tones and stuff, that has already been worked on in the process of being done.
And if I'm hearing this correctly, 911 would have to be online before we could officially sign anything on a specific date.
Yes, sir. What happens, Mr. Mayor, if you are in Cosby, say you're at the three-way up on Cosby, and you walk in the door and you dial 911, it's going to say send Cobb County Sheriff's Office, Cobb County Fire, Cosby Volunteer Fire, Allied EMS, Newport Rescue Squad. If you come to the three-way in the city limits, and you walk in Ford's Cruise through and dial 911, it's going to say send City Fire, City Police, Allied EMS, Newport Rescue Squad. It's based on your location, and that ESN right now automatically kicks out Allied EMS. So we would need to make sure that if a dispatcher looks up and they call in and say there's 3 people who just had a head-on collision out here, they're not looking to see who's got a contract, they're looking down that list and making calls. And that's what they go by, is that ESN number, what it throws out. So that would have to be clarified for dispatch before we could go in, I think, before we could actually put the contract in place. I'm not asking you either way, I'm just telling you, as a concerned member of that board, we need the opportunity to put that ESN number in place before this is actually put online.
Well, based on what the chief said, it might not be a bad idea assuming you want to pass the motion, if the motion passes, that it take effect when the 911 board can make the changes that the chief says needs to be made. If that takes a day or if it takes 2 weeks.
Well, I don't know how long it would take Ms. Cody to do that. I just know that when you have a 911 call, it gives an automatic location identifier and an automatic number identifier. So it tells the dispatcher who to dispatch from emergency personnel.
Don't have any other questions?
Does that make us liable if we vote Magnum in? Well, it makes us liable. I mean, if we go ahead and say yes, it automatically puts us liability right now.
Well, it would, of course,
Because if I'm gonna call 911, you don't have time to reach back and say, well, we're gonna call so-and-so, Mama's laying here sick. I think I need to rescind on my motion and change it to say that when they get the 911 board ready to accept Mike, that's my motion.
he's amended his motion.
He's amended it.
Do we have a second to it?
Do we have a second to his amended motion?
Well, if it takes a month, 2 months or 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to be ready to go.
Well, if
I mean, 911 would have to be ready for sure. And the only way
they're not taking them, we'll be in trouble.
if we did what bill,
If Mike would decide not to do it then.
but we'd still have Allied.
No, I'm not sure that.
I mean, if you didn't change contract, if you leave it like it is, we'd still be under Allied.
Well,
But it's on the county.
it's on the county, right now, we ain't got no contract.
Right.
We gonna be.
Well, we're covered under the county's contract.
That's what I'm saying. We're covered under the county. And to whenever the county decides what they're going to do. But we've got an amended motion on the floor, and at this point in time, we don't have a second. So, last call for a second. Okay, it'll die on the floor for lack of a second. Okay, item F, consent agenda, a couple of roadblocks. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. We do have, probably need to vote on suspending the rules. I would like to, I've already called on Jessica McGaha. I said it correctly, didn't I? This is our new finance director. Welcome aboard. And we have got to sign a resolution allowing her to be on the bank account, so I'm going to request that we have a motion and a second and vote on suspending the rules to add this to the agenda.
I'll make the motion to suspend.
Do we have a second?
I'll say.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none.
Mayor, before you make that motion, can I make a suggestion? Let's don't just say bank accounts. Because we just got into a mess with our gas credit cards. And if I thought more or less in the city that had the authority to approve anybody, we'll have to do a whole new credit application for one, fuel man, whoever we use.
Right.
Right now, we have to, because we're using Play One, we have to do a new credit application, so her name will be on it.
Okay.
We can just, when if that does come up, I just ask that we let her just sign more to make her available, not just on bank accounts, but also accounts like that.
Do what, honey?
I've got them.
She's got them. And of course, this is for the National Bank of Tennessee and the U.S. Bank. Now we need a motion on the resolution 2012-04 on the signature authority of the bank accounts at the National Bank of Tennessee and U.S. Bank for Finance Director Jessica McGaha. Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Just a couple of quick things here before we call on comments from citizens. On the 29th of March, the City of Newport, we're going to be presenting a key to the city to the Navy Junior ROTC for all their accomplishments. I know they won something big, but I can't for the life of me think of, Ray, do you or Nelson remember what it was? They won the state or?
They are going to represent the state.
Yes.
In national drill competition.
Yes.
In Florida.
Right, so we're going to present this key on the 29th, I believe at 6 o'clock when they have their program on at the stadium at Cobb County High School. And one thing that I have wrote down here I'd like to share with the citizens, I have made contact with Ben today and have got a call into Jeremy Faison concerning the Broadway paving. It was brought to my attention a year or two ago that when Blaylock was doing the paving, they indicated that it would always break up at those intersections, and everybody knows how bad the intersections are, due to the base that's under that. So they're just paving over, and the state's only paying for just a 2-inch cap or whatever that might be. So I have asked Jeremy Faison to talk to TDOT to redo that road, especially at the intersections, and put down the proper base. I think there's concrete, old concrete from 100 years ago, that's under there, and that's why the pavement continues to break up. So I just wanted to share that with you in case you've knocked your front end out of line downtown, because it's really that bad. So
Don't blame it on Ben.
no, don't blame it on Ben. That's state highway. He'll probably take the blame for it, but he'll get the right people in order to do that. Does council have any more comments that you'd like to make before we go to citizens? Okay. Comments from citizens? Yes, sir.
So my name is Claude Gatlin, and I'm here speaking on behalf of several of my neighbors that live over on 6th Street, Mr. Johnny and Peggy Parks, and Ms. Anna Ray and Carolyn Starnes. Carolyn Wise, but it's Ms. Starnes' daughter. They could not be here tonight. Carolyn's had a knee replacement, so they would have chosen to be here, but they can't tonight. One question I have for you is, do y'all still have your workshop in between your meetings on Tuesday nights?
Usually, yes, sir.
Okay. What we request, we submitted a complaint with the city, what the code described as nuisance in a neighborhood, and it's been over 6 weeks since we've got any response. We'd like for you to retrieve that original complaint with the documentation that we include that with it and go over it in your workshop if you would.
Sure.
And we'd like some response from that.
Okay.
In writing if possible.
We'll do that.
Going back and reviewing some of your earlier meetings through the YouTube and so forth, I've noticed that these items have been brought up regularly, but we're not getting any response or feedback when we ask other citizens. And I know some of y'all maybe already aware of this, but like I said, the length of time for a response has been expired according to your codes, and we'd like some action, some review, and then, like I said, a written response.
Absolutely.
Like I said, we all joined together on the complaint, so Ms. Anna Ray's over there right now anxiously awaiting some comment from us. Okay.
Regina? Mark, where is Mark? Can you respond to that?
I'm not sure which part I should respond to. I have a copy of the complaint here. City manager told me. I've contacted the property owner down in Georgia and the two tenants that are living in these two houses on one parcel of property. They agree that they need to clean up the property and they're working on it. Now, as far as the houses need to be condemned and demolished, I've been in one house. I saw no structural deficit on the inside. It was piled up outside, and it's had quite a bit of removal. In fact, the tenant is here tonight, if you want to talk with him. The other house that's occupied, I talked to that tenant twice on the phone of explaining the situation and what he needs to do. And he explained to me that he's a disabled veteran on a fixed income. He's collecting stuff, trying to have some pocket money. And he will get his son out there and clean up. I don't think he's present. No, he's not in town right now. But, work's being done. The animal that was part of the complaint, I've contacted animal control to see if there was any complaint diverted to them, and I was told no. I've been by there. I see the big dog on the chain. The dogs will chew up paperwork. What can I say? There's lime sprayed on the ground, lime spread on the ground as well as straw. So obviously he's trying to clean up after his dog. The child not going to school, I've not been able to find out if I'm supposed to actually talk to somebody about that or if that's a county school system issue. Not really part of code enforcement. As far as not being contacted, actually I called and spoke with you and tried to let you know what the status was, and you were going to contact the other people involved, and so we could have a meeting and go over everything. But the request that the property be condemned and the two houses demolished, certainly y'all can decide that this is a neighborhood nuisance and it needs to be bulldozed and cleaned. But, I think there's a long road to go on that.
Actually, I sent an email to Terry. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at that or not. But that has to go through the circuit court. It's not something that I can just go up there with a bulldozer and knock it down, especially if they're occupied. It takes a major effort to do anything with an occupied structure. The owner has to be responsible. And in this particular case, the owner been notified 3 times by mail. They have a P.O. box, and we're calling. Actually, the owner is, what's it called? You'd think that they'd be right up here, Southern Georgia Builders, Kingsland, Georgia. And I've tried to do a internet search to locate them. I've contacted people that think it's a strange phone call to me, calling from Tennessee on it. Anyway, I've yet to receive any contact from them, Eddie Nix or that construction company. Anyway, that's the status that it is at the moment.
May I respond?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We added, the actual complaint form says be as descriptive as possible. We added everything that we knew collectively to put on there. We've made contacts with different departments, there again within the city and some agencies, and for some reason we do not get a call back. Multiple attempts with leaving name and numbers, going to the department and actually seeing our name and number written down on the memo pad that's passed on, but there's a glitch in the system somewhere, like I said, for over 6 weeks. And Mr. Roberts called yesterday, but the complaint was filed back on February the 3rd. So that's an extended period of time, and according to code, the resident would only have 5 days, but we're not hearing back. And once again, like I said, we can be available. Like I told Mr. Robinson, Miss Carolyn's with her knee replacement, and she can't get out, so it's not convenient for him to call me on the phone and me try to remember everything to go tell everybody else.
Right.
So we need something a little more substantial to go by and to hold on to when we need it. But my point is that going back through the meetings that y'all have now online, which like anything else comes back to bite you, I'm sure at times when it's on there, but it's a reoccurring problem within the city, okay? So if you could take this maybe as a test case or precedence or whatever you want to call it, but if you review this one, we're available to help you understand how we filled it out and why we put that in there. As far as any demolishing of the structures, I was told on more than one occasion that one of them was already scheduled to be, as the reason I put it on there, okay? We didn't make up anything. I mean, Ms. Anna Ray's been in her house on 6th Street with upgrades for over 80 years. I believe it's 86 years now. So, you know, we've got a good neighborhood. We just want a better one, and without nuisance.
Right, I understand that.
All right.
I think, Mark, could you give council members and myself a copy of the complaint and the steps that you've taken and so forth, and outline that for us and get it to us so we'll have a chance to look at it?
Yeah. Like I said, if there's any questions or anything, if any of us are available, or we can all come.
Sure.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Any other comments from citizens? Yes.
I'm Mike Wise. I got that business out here. It's called the Big Daddy's Billiards Club. It's a private club, and I have a beer license and everything, the whole 9 yards. And I don't know why they want me to try to close up, considering it a pool hall, which it's not a pool hall. It's a billiards club, private, which I've got private membership cards here that goes out to everybody. And it's a nice, clean, decent place. There have not been no calls out there whatsoever that I know of through the city of complaints. Not one at all. And I feel, that I shouldn't be treated no different than these other lounges or bars or whatever they want to call them. I just, I run a good, respectable business, clean, it's neat. anybody in this world can come in there and sit, and when you walk through the door, you'll be impressed. I just want it, to stay open, because if I don't stay open and have to close early on this ordinance, have no 10 to, from 7 o'clock a.m. to 10 p.m., that would put me out of business. It would just, because we got the APA league shoots in there, which is American Pool Association. I have teams shooting in there, and these games go on till down, 11:30, 12 o'clock. And, that's the whole part of the revenue, and plus, I'm recognized by the state as Big Daddy's Billiards Club, and it is a private club, and I got membership cards passed out to everybody, and it's a private club, and I need to, stay open. They have not one complaint. 4 officers come out there that night and serve the paper, and, the police chief, Ray Schultz, signed the paper, and they said there were no complaints. There was never no complaints ever filed on my place at all, not one that they know of, not one. And I said, well, why are they doing this to me? I don't know if somebody's trying to pick on me or, what it is. And I've got the papers here from, the beer board and everything, where everybody in the beer board signed my license as Big Daddy's Billiards Club, and it was a private club. I give out membership cards, anybody can come in there. I've got pictures that I can show you. And I tried the public deal. For 8 months. And the public deal's got my house. They're selling my house the 20th of this month on the courthouse lawn. I lost my house. Now I want to lose my business. Something's got to be done. There's too many businesses in this town going out. Small business. I'm trying to make something here nice for the public. I tried the public. I couldn't live off $40, $50 a week. And then I went and I got a beer license. Now I'm doing good and doing better. No complaints out there. No trouble with my place whatsoever. None at all. Not one complaint. All 4 officers admitted that. And they wrote on the back of that paper that they brought that the beer license should override the rule on that paper, but that's them, that's not me. They all can't figure out why there was a complaint.
Terry, are you familiar with
The city has an ordinance that controls pool halls. The chief actually asked me about it. It's a valid ordinance that's in effect that basically controls the hours of operation. Correct, Chief?
Yeah.
I didn't bring the ordinance with me.
I have it.
Do you know how old it is? How old is that ordinance?
It is it's an old ordinance.
It was reaffirmed in the last passage of city council and ordinance.
Right. Yeah, when we, but it's one that was probably overlooked. At present, it's on the books, and the chief is authorized and under duty to enforce the ordinances, and that's what he's doing.
Chief, is there any problems that you're aware of?
First and foremost, if he's got something not signed by me, it's not signed by me to him. What he has is a copy of an email that I sent out the ordinance to my officers, and I'd definitely like to see the names of the 4 officers that work for me, and went out there and said that they know more about the law than our city attorney does, because I'd like for them to advise him where we stand on this ordinance this time, because I just sent him another email today. Our problems and I have been working. We got a ruling from Sid Helmsley that said there's no distinction between a billiard hall or any other type of game where you go out there and take a stick and poke it at balls. I told my officers, they didn't take him the email where I said hold off until we got the ruling from our city attorney. I've been trying to conduct this as business and professionally. I did not send him notice. I sent an email to my employees. When they print that off and take it to them and they sign it, I need to know what my employees are signing. Again, telling him that they're smarter than our city attorney. Because they weren't instructed to go tell him anything. They were given an email as what our ordinance said and what our city attorney advised. If I serve him notice, I'll take it myself.
And the chief is correct. You can call it anything you want, but if you've got balls on a pool table and you're shooting them, you can call it billiards, you can call it pool, but it's all covered under our ordinance.
The law, when we got the name that said snooker, because that was the case, they attempted to call it snooker hall, and snooker is a game with ball and stick.
But my suggestion is, if the council's interested in the ordinance, reviewing it, we put it on the workshop, and we can look at it. You can change it, you can change it. If not, we'll leave it as it is.
Would y'all want to put that on the next workshop?
I think we should.
Okay.
I mean, we got bars that stay open till whatever time.
Yes.
We got restaurants now that stay open till a certain time, and, I mean, how many billiard clubs we got in town now that, I mean, that's probably a 50s ordinance or something, I would just guess to say. I mean, the pool halls are almost a thing of the past, I would think, but at some point, we probably need to look at a lot of those older ordinances and discuss them.
We'll have it on the next workshop agenda to discuss it.
Okay,
Okay?
all right. But I was just concerned because, I mean, I'm losing everything I got, and I just don't want to lose it.
If we could, I'd also like to have a copy of that charter, the same charter it was a private club that told me that it affects the way they conduct business as well inside the city. And I've never seen anything say it's a private club. The only thing I've seen was where he put me down as a reference on his beer license, spelled both my first and my last name wrong.
We'll look at that at the April workshop, okay?
Okay, I was just, but I mean, I was just wanting to get it,
Okay, we'll work on that for you.
Yeah, all right, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, well, I got
Any other comments from citizens?
Mayor, when you come back to the old business, I have talked to Kathy Cody.
By text, or about whatever we do on these phones. She told me she could convert the ESN in 2 minutes. I have the text from her here. She said all she had to do was do something on the computer and it changed in 2 minutes. I just wanted to make you all aware of that because I did reach out, communicate with her, so I just wanted to address you all that before you left the business tonight.
I think you meant Kathy Cody.
Did I say hello? I didn't communicate with her.
I didn't see her texting at all.
No, it's Kathy Cody. I apologize. But I did communicate with Kathy Cody. She did say that she could change those ESNs in a matter of minutes.
Do we have any change? Does anybody want to change anything on what we previously, where we didn't have a second? Any other comments from citizens?
I would just like to check on the status of the signs to replace or remove the barrier by Brown Casket and Insurance. I think the sign was supposed to have been ordered last month, and we were just wondering when that might take place.
On the email, it said March 30th, Janie, if I'm not...
March, you talking about?
It says, signs for vehicle crossing road walk specified with TML recommendations have been delivered. The speed bumps are scheduled to be received on or about March 20th. Once the speed bumps are received, the signs will be installed and the zebra striping will be painted on the walkway. The safety barriers will not be removed until all of the safety features are in place.
Okay, so March 30th.
But waiting on the speed bumps,
yes.
and we had to order them, so.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Do we have a motion to adjourn?